Alright guys, Tom here and welcome to a new video. So this is my WWE Payback 2013 review video and I'm doing this at 4 o'clock in the morning. So sorry if I do sound a little not very motivated. Kind of quiet because I'm trying to keep quiet so nobody wakes up, even though I'm not really near anybody. They're quite far away in the house, but yeah, I've got to keep quiet because I don't want to wake anybody up. But we're going to get straight on with this. This isn't going to be like a 28-minute video which I did for Elimination Chamber, nothing like that. It's just going to be a really quick review video where I can get all my thoughts out there and really quickly done. So the first match we started was on the kickoff show. Now they changed the match from pre-show to a kickoff show. I thought it was a better kickoff show than previous pre-shows. I mean, it started with the match. You had JPL, Cole and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. They usually have some other guys, some rookie commentators who I'm not exactly keen on, and we had Sheamus defeating Damien Sandow using the bro kick. Very disappointed in this. I mean, to be honest, the match was pretty awful. The match was not fluid whatsoever. They didn't work very well together in the ring. It was really poor and very disappointed in this match. I was hoping that they were going to finally push Damien Sandow, but they didn't. They gave a cheap win to Sheamus, trying to make the crowd happy. I'm just looking at this picture on WWE.com where you got that Brock Lesnar guy celebrating with Sheamus, expecting Damien Sandow to win that really very disappointing match. Not entertaining at all. It wasn't a very good way to start off Payback on the pre-show especially. Now, the first match which we got to start off Payback was a lot more interesting than the pre-show or the kickoff match. Now, they did call it a kickoff match just so it seems like Sheamus isn't as much as a jobber as he really is. But the first match we had on the actual show, I ordered the pay-per-view on Sky and it went through fine. I was complaining on when I was doing my live reaction video, which will be up later today. I wasn't really sure if I was going to get it or not, but it did work, and it worked straight away, so I got it straight on. I saw all the pyro, which is quite rare. I'm usually scrolling through all the live streams trying to look for them, but I got the Curtis Axel versus The Miz versus Wade Barrett. I wasn't expecting Curtis Axel to win this, I'm going to be honest. I thought if you got Curtis Axel to win, and then it was obvious that Fandango was going to win. That's why they put Curtis Axel in, because they don't want Miz or Wade Barrett to win, because they want to scrap that rivalry, which is good because I never liked that rivalry, and they should bonk it on the head. So you got Curtis Axel, Mr. Paul Heyman's new guy, winning, which is a very bad thing, because you did get a cutscene after the match where he had a stare down with Triple H, but him winning a match against mid-carders just completely ruins his momentum. So he's feuding with guys who are down in the mid-carder, when you want to be feuding with a new guy who's a Paul Heyman's guy who's new to the roster, under his new name, and you've got him feuding with mid-carders who don't really do a lot for him. He's just new in the WWE. It's just going to completely stall his momentum. You think, oh, a championship, more momentum. No, he's going to be feuding with people who are going to make him lose his momentum, like, sadly, Wade Barrett, who hasn't really got a push. People like Damien Sandow, The Miz, Zack Ryder, people like them. He's going to be feuding with them guys when you want him to be top dog at the moment, since he's just come into the WWE. So, to be honest, the match was really awesome how it finished. Miz got Wade Barrett in the figure four, and then Curtis Axel cleverly listened to Paul Heyman, rolled in the ring and pinned Wade Barrett, the champion, whilst The Miz was giving him a figure four, which was a great ending. So, for that match, I'd give that match a 8 out of 10. I quite liked it. It was pretty good. For the first match, Sheamus versus Damien Sandow, I would probably give that match a 6 out of 10. It was pretty awful. Didn't like who won, but Curtis Axel winning, don't really agree with who won, but it was a decent match, I guess, and I really liked the ending. It was pretty emotional at the end. Curtis Axel, obviously on Father's Day, remembering his dad who's not alive anymore. Now, the next match was the Divas match, which I thought they gave this match 5 minutes too much. It was too many submissions by AJ. Caitlyn gave a spear to AJ and she kicked out, and AJ just made AJ look invincible and a bit retarded. But AJ managed to get into that submission, which does actually look painful. Wouldn't mind her giving it to me, but she managed to pick up the win. Very happy for AJ in a Divas division which really needs change, and AJ at least applied that change by winning the Divas Championship, which is great news for the Divas. And Dolph Ziggler lost his World Heavyweight Championship, which is a shame. So AJ is the only person who is in that threesome with a championship, so it could slowly see her breaking away from Dolph Ziggler, hopefully, because it's not doing her any favours. But for that match, probably giving it a 7 out of 10. They gave it way too much, and it took, I mean, there were some good manoeuvres. I mean, AJ kicked Caitlyn right in the face she used the ropes to kick Caitlyn, and it was a really good move. But to be honest, they gave the match way too long. By that I mean, like, they could have squeezed it into 4 minutes instead of 8 minutes, because it dragged out way too much. Now, the next match was the United States Championship match, I believe, for the United States Championship. It was Kane versus Dean Ambrose. Very, 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 very disappointed in this match. I thought this match was going to be really, really good. This is one of the matches which made me buy the pay-per-view in the end, and I was very disappointed in the actual outcome of the match. I thought it was going to be a lot more exciting. Just Kane really wasn't on his A game. Sometimes he is, sometimes he isn't. That's the thing with Kane. He wasn't on his A game. How it finished wasn't very memorable at all. Oh, it was by a count out. I think Dean Ambrose gave a DDT to Kane outside the ring. Kane didn't manage to get in, and Dean Ambrose just squirmed into the middle of the ring. So Kane was putting over some good talent, which is always great, but the match was very disappointing, which didn't do any favours for Dean Ambrose at all. He did okay. The Chicago crowd was pretty behind him. They're always behind new, fresh talent, so that was pretty good. But honestly, that match was very, very disappointing, which was a great shame. Now, the next match was Alberto Del Rio defeating Dolph Ziggler, which is a very, very, very big shock. I mean, Twitter went absolutely berserk. I went berserk on my live reaction video when Dolph Ziggler got pinned. He got pinned by Alberto Del Rio. Now, I don't know whether that was because Dolph Ziggler's injury is more serious than we actually first thought, because he's been out for actually 5 weeks. I didn't realise it was 5 weeks. Or Dolph Ziggler got injured midway through that match and couldn't carry on, so Alberto Del Rio had to finish it off, because I don't really know, because Dolph Ziggler gave him the zigzag. The Chicago crowd went absolutely wild. I thought he was going to pin him. Didn't get the chance to pin him. And then Alberto Del Rio gave him an Enziguri, a kick to the head, and just pinned him. It was a bit of a strange ending. It seemed very rushed. I'm going to be honest, it did seem very rushed, which is disappointing for a World Heavyweight Championship match, because, to be honest, the match was really, really good. It was really fast-paced. Del Rio got very, very bad heat. He's a face, and he got very bad heat in the Chicago crowd. That's why they don't like going to Chicago. They just got really, really bad heat for Dolph Ziggler. Alberto Del Rio. Dolph Ziggler got an absolutely face crowd welcoming, which is pretty awesome. I love Dolph Ziggler. He was awesome. But Del Rio was absolutely all over him. The match was really, really great. Fast-paced. I like how he was aiming for the head. Quite original. And I liked how, I don't know if you noticed it, Del Rio just like completely kicked the Divas Championship from on the floor. It was quite hilarious. But yeah, Del Rio was very, very offensive in this match. Dolph Ziggler really couldn't get out of the blocks, which was disappointing, because I love him, and that sounded a bit gay, but he couldn't really get out of the blocks. But to be honest, the match card was organised very, very well, because after that match, you had the CM Punk versus Chris Jericho match. We kind of had a few not so great matches. I mean, we had the Del Rio match versus Dolph Ziggler, very big shocker, not great. Dean Ambrose and Kane, and then you had the Divas Championship before. So the CM Punk versus Chris Jericho match came just at the right time. The crowd went absolutely wild. I'm just looking at a picture on WWE.com, which they didn't actually show on the pay-per-view when I was watching it, but he was standing right in front of the crowd. Looks absolutely awesome. But CM Punk did defeat Chris Jericho, managed to give him 3 GTSs, managed to give him 2 in a row. Chris Jericho hit the code breaker from the top rope when CM Punk went off the top rope. He went off the ropes and tried to give him a elbow to the heart, but didn't actually manage to hit him, because obviously he got code breakered. It did kind of look slightly botched, and I'm kind of disappointed that he did it for the second pay-per-view in a row, but I'm not going to complain, because it was an epic match. It was very, very offensive. They were booing crazy against Chris Jericho, which is always very nice to see, because, to be honest, he's a bit lame. He was supposed to be making a heel turn. Not sure if that's going to happen tonight on Monday Night Raw. So to be honest, it was a very, very, very good match. Very, very good match. I'm not going to lie. I really like that match. Favourite match of the night. out of that or the ambulance match. So 9.5 out of 10 for that match. Very, very glad CM Punk's back. There was no tension between Paul Heyman as well, which is quite surprising. We all thought there was going to be a lot of tension between Paul Heyman and CM Punk, and they were going to break up and Curtis Axel, all these crazy stuff was going to happen. Nothing like that happened, and it was just simply a normal match for CM Punk to come back. So hopefully he has a decent run. Hopefully he gets a championship under his belt soon. But that was a really, really good match. I bought the pay-per-view just because of that match, and I certainly was not disappointed. Now, the next match was the WWE Tag Team Championship match with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins defeating Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. Now, this match was crazily good. It was surprisingly good, one of the best matches of the night, to be honest. I mean, Roman Reigns, he was all oiled up for this match. It was a bit weird. Looked like he'd had a bath just before he went out. So he was all like greasy and horrible before he came out. Yeah, that's a very weird way of describing it. But yeah, so you had a very good match. It wasn't very... I can't even remember because loads of stuff happened at the end, but basically Roman Reigns went for a spear. Randy Orton threw Daniel Bryan into the spear, and then he gave Randy Orton gave a RKO to Roman Reigns. Seth Rollins threw both of them out of the ring, Roman Reigns and Randy Orton, and then freaking gave like a Pele kick and then a face buster to the ground and pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. No questions there. It was pretty obvious that was going to happen, and to be honest, we weren't disappointed. It was a very, very good match. My video, John Cena AA Ryback through a table live reaction, is just uploaded. Go check it out now because that was a pretty cool, the fact that I got it on live reaction. I was pretty happy about that, and it's probably going to play through the speakers. No, it's not. So yeah, that let's get on to the review. So yeah, very, very good match. Really, really, really like the ending to that. It was very good. Seth Rollins, Daniel Bryan was of course crazy as usual. Absolutely epic, amazing, amazing match. Really, really love that match. 8 out of 10. And yeah, Daniel Bryan didn't make a heel turn from what I could see, and he was supposed to make a heel turn as well as Chris Jericho. But to be honest, Chicago is not really the place you want to make a heel turn, is it? So the last match, 3 Stages of Hell. First 2 matches. Oh, sorry. First match. Very disappointing. You have full of jobbers, Zack Ryder, Alex Riley, JTG, people I didn't even know who were on the match, who were still contracted to WWE. The match was very boring, the first match. John Cena jumped into the sea of all the lumberjacks outside the ring. I thought that was the epic, memorable bit, but it wasn't. Obviously, the John Cena AAing Ryback through the ambulance. And I thought that was going to be it, but it wasn't that epic, really, was it? And then Ryback just hit the shell shock and won. The crowd wasn't really behind that match at all. The tables match did heat up very well. I mean, Ryback nicked the steel steps and tried to hit John Cena a few times with it, and he just smashed the 2 tables in a row trying to throw it at John Cena. He threw it outside the ring, nearly hit some people at the side. It's pretty maybe very anxious of the people at the side, but yeah, I quite like the tables match. I mean, it was pretty predictable that John Cena was going to win this match since Ryback won the lumberjack match. But to be honest, I think it would have been better if they did the lumberjack second, because the tables match is less predictable than a lumberjack match. Didn't really give a lot of momentum into the match for the first match, if you know what I mean. Never really understood when they chose it to be a lumberjack match anyway. It's just full of jobbers and just to get people on a card on a standard Monday Night Raw, but not a pay-per-view which you're paying for and expecting a decent match, if you know what I mean. So the tables match was decent. John Cena put Ryback through a table from the FU. Now, Ryback threw the table outside the ring, or just collapsed it whilst he was going to be FU'd first time, and that made him cleverly not get through one of the tables, but obviously later on he did get put through a table. Now, the last match, I've got a live reaction video of me watching this, watch the ambulance, getting absolutely needing an ambulance itself when John Cena threw Ryback through, or drop some through the ambulance, and Ryback lost that match obviously because he's incapacitated and can't carry on because obviously he was through the ambulance. Now, Mr. McMahon said that he wanted something memorable to happen. Hopefully that's what he wanted. I mean, I predicted it like frigging 2 weeks ago that was going to happen. So if I was him, I would have picked something which is a lot more like, you know, better. It wasn't that good. If you know, I'm like, well, I don't want to be critical about it, but wasn't that good. It was like freaking putting somebody... It's like putting somebody through a table just with fancy lights and a few windows, which didn't actually happen because Ryback put his hand through the glass. I mean, he got thrown into one of the doors on the ambulance, which is incredible. John Cena picked up one of the chairs and freaking threw it at Ryback's head. He threw the red flashing LED lights on the actual ambulance. It was crazy. It was a very good match, actually. Very quick. I wish they gave that. I wish they scrapped the lumberjack match or just didn't give it enough. Just hardly gave it any time. Then gave this match more time because I love the table match in the lumberjack. Not a lumberjack, that's awful. The ambulance match, I just hated the lumberjack match. I just didn't see the point of it at all. So that's pretty much it for the John Cena versus Ryback match. I'd give that a 8 out of 10. I'll be generous because that feud's now over, hopefully. Might get a bit tonight on Monday Night Raw, but apart from that, pretty much done. And I'm not actually tired, even though I've just done like a freaking 15-minute video on WWE Payback 2013. I did buy it on pay-per-view for £14.95, which is quite expensive, isn't it? But to be honest, I think I got my money's worth. I'm going to be honest. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for this pay-per-view. I'm going to give it it was an average pay-per-view. I'm going to be honest, except for the ending. I'm happy that AJ won. She's pretty hot. I fuck her on the ass, or the vagina, whatever. Yeah, I'm pretty happy that she won the Divas Championship. I'm happy that the Shield are still in control. I'm not very happy John Cena's still the WWE Championship, but I look forward to the match between Daniel Bryan and John Cena. And we've got a return for RVD. This is freaking crazy. Chicago was freaking marking out. I was marking out at home. I did a live reaction of that as well. If you've got to check it out later today when I get around to uploading that when I wake up, because it's 4 o'clock and I'm going to go to bed now. Happy Curtis Axel won because, well, I'm not really, but it was very emotional and I'm happy for him. Not happy Sheamus won. Very disappointed in that. I'll be tweeting Sheamus, telling him to fuck off or something. So I'm happy CM Punk's back. Monday Night Raw really has not been anything like it should have been without CM Punk. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. 7 to 8 out of 10 for this pay-per-view. Maybe slightly critical, to be honest. Not really that special as an average pay-per-view, to be honest. So this is my first pay-per-view of the summer. Got 2 more, SummerSlam and Money in the Bank, where RVD does return. So thanks for watching. Stay with me for later WWE videos. Thanks for watching. Later.